So you want to get laid, you want to have porn star sex, you want to have an abundant dating life, you want to meet some attractive ladies. It's actually quite simple. All you have to do is just start talking to attractive women, and eventually you're going to end up hooking up with one of them. It's just inevitable. That basically was what changed my life when I realized that rejection is all a part of the process, that it's normal. When I was growing up, there was times when I would be compelled to want to go chat up a girl that I thought was intriguing. Or maybe sometimes they even came up, put themselves in my vicinity, even sat right beside me a couple of times, but I was so insecure, shy, limiting beliefs, unconfident in myself, beat down by life, beat down by the different experiences I had growing up, no guidance, no one to tell me that this was a part of the process so that I could improve myself, improve my confidence, improve my self-esteem, improve with women, improve socially, make the friends that I want to make, take control of my life, take life by the balls. I didn't have that information. So I was coming from a place where I more so thought I was at the effect of life, that I just had to take basically whatever came my way. And only when I, later in life, when I went through a ton of traumatic experiences, did I eventually discover that this was a thing that you could improve in your life. And it helped me out tremendously at the point that I was going through in that time of my life. Now, if that's something that you would like to do, you can do it too. You just got to dedicate the time, put in the time, make sure you're carving out a significant portion of time on a regular basis, going out, approaching women, whether it's in the day, wherever you want to go, but you're taking massive action and you're going and approaching mass amounts of women on a regular basis. You're treating this like a goddamn fucking sport. And I don't know what the feminists are going to think of that. I know that sounds maybe really terrible to some people. But you know what? Fuck them. Because that's something you have to cultivate as well. Being unapologetic about your wants and your desires, understanding that nobody is born naturally gifted in any area. They might have certain kinds of attributes and qualities that were cultivated from a very young age, maybe because of their upbringing, maybe they had good influences, maybe they had somebody there that was coaching them and guiding them in life at a very young age. But make no mistake, every skill has been cultivated. No one was just born naturally gifted in any field. They had to put in mass amounts of practice. And just the same as if you want to go out and meet women and you want to have an abundant sex life, you got to go out, you got to talk to women. So what can you do? How can you improve that area? You go to bars, you go to clubs. If you're not old enough for that, you go into the mall. You're going to the beach. You're going wherever there is a lot of targets, as they say. Got to get out into the field and you got to start approaching. Now it's simple, right? See hot girl, approach hot girl. But then you're going to find that there's a lot of internal struggles and challenges and barriers that you're going to face when you're going out to do this. Your mind's going to come up with all kinds of excuses. Now everybody's starting from a different point. Some people, this is going to come easier than others. But that's all right, because you can start small and you can improve in this area too. Now, there's no guarantees that you're going to get a result, but if you're putting in the effort, then you can definitely improve your circumstances more so than where you're at right now. And that goes with anything. That goes with anything. You keep putting yourself out there, you keep taking action, and eventually you let the results come as they will, but they are likely to come because you're no different than anybody else. You might be looking at somebody they've already reached the pinnacle of what you might consider to be the success that you're looking for. But you didn't see the decade plus on the back end that they put in to reach that top, to reach the top. You didn't see that. And everybody must go through it. When they say you must pay your dues, when they say you can't skip the process, it means that if you look into the science of this and you look into the studies, everything is cultivated over a long period of time. Now, the thing is with this is that you could potentially get a result the first person that you talk to when you go out. But if you don't get discouraged. And that's a skill too, not getting discouraged. Staying on the path, continuously taking action, even when it feels like it's hopeless or that you could never do it. I used to be really into skateboarding, and there was a trick called the 360 flip, which at one point I thought, I can't imagine ever being able to land this trick on a consistent basis, on a regular basis. It seemed unfathomable, impossible. But with years of practice, with years of dedication, with consistency, eventually I learned that trick consistently. Then was able to do it down stair sets. Then was able to do it into board slides and different kinds of grinds. And it happened. You just can't give up. You have to persist. You have to stay on the path. If this is something you want, you're going to dedicate yourself to this, and you're going to spend a significant amount of time just getting out there, approaching women. You don't have to complicate this. Now, it's also going to help you to grow internally. I mean, it also could probably, you could take it the other way where it's something that maybe is a detriment to your life that could be more of a distraction if you're using it as a distraction. If you're using it as something like a drug to cope, well then that's a different story. But if you're using this as some sort of a self-development pursuit, well then it's going to challenge you to have to grow in your character, in your self-esteem, in your self-respect, in your self-reliance, self-control, discipline. To get good at this, to get results in this area, where you're just fucking on a consistent basis, is like no other pursuit. You got to do it on a regular basis. You're going to have to be disciplined. You're going to have to treat this like a pro. That means you're watching your diet. You're taking care of your health. You're making sure you're getting the proper sleep. You're managing your time. You're managing your schedule. You're making money for yourself, but not for the women. It's just so that you have the means to travel, to pay for expenses, to do what you got to do so that you can get out there and put in the time necessary to see a return on your investment. And you will. But you got to enjoy the process. You have to enjoy just talking to a beautiful woman. Even that is an accomplishment. Even just making yourself approach is an accomplishment. But that's why, if you had somebody like myself to take you into the field and tell you to approach, that's what my job is. It's to make sure you're not making any excuses. It's to get over that approach anxiety. It's to push you maybe harder than you're able to push yourself right now. It's a great way to speed up the process. It's a great way to watch somebody and model someone that's already put in 13 years into this area and can show you and demonstrate what this takes and what this looks like. Taking you into bars, taking you into clubs, taking you out into the daytime, having a gay old time, just a gay old time together. And that's one way to get yourself maybe a catalyst to change, to show you what this takes. But it's not absolutely necessary. You can buy programs, you can have friends, you can go out with friends. The point is, though, is that there is no magic pill. It's not about the lines. It is actually about becoming more secure within yourself, loving yourself, respecting yourself, realizing that you have inherent value just because you're alive. You don't need to learn some lines. It's not about, oh, I need to learn this line. What's the next line? What's the next trick? Because what is that? What is that saying to yourself? It's saying, I'm not good enough unless I have the line. I'm not good enough unless I have this external thing, whether it's money, whether it's the clothes, whether it's the body that you want to have. Somehow I'm deficient and I need this external thing to be good enough to go up and make the attempt and talk to the girl or to live the life that I want to live. But when you get to the point and realize, no, it's not about that, you understand that you have inherent value just because you're you, just because you're alive, just because you're a human being on this planet Earth like anybody else. But you realize too that your actions aren't a reflection of who you are. Your actions don't define you. Your clothes don't define you. Your personality doesn't even define you. Your personality wasn't even something maybe that you took proactive control in cultivating. It was something that you just developed over time through modeling your parents, modeling friends, but you don't realize that that's even something that you can cultivate. So your personality isn't even a reflection of who you are. And that's something that you can even play around with, like a mask. Everybody's wearing a mask. Everybody's going out into this world pretending to be something, right? And that's okay. So then what you realize is, yes, there is a skill set here. The skill set is the behaviors, how you convey yourself, getting yourself to get out there and expressing yourself freely and not making that a part of who you are. Uncoupling your actions from your core essence. That never changes. So when you realize this, you can go out and now you can have fun experimenting with different behaviors, experimenting with different personality types, however you want, experimenting with different clothes, hairstyles. You could be hesh one day, you could come out and look fresh another day. It doesn't matter. That isn't a reflection of who you are. You uncouple, it's not, you don't turn that into ego identification. And so what is your self-concept? Do you believe that you can become good with women? See, changing your beliefs, that's another big part of this. And that's something that you can do in an instant. Hit me up if you want somebody to take you out and actually demonstrate and show you what this takes. Otherwise, like and subscribe to the channel. And until next time, peace out, my friends.